Hello everyone, welcome back to the video here at Tasty Rides. Today we are back with another voiceover because my audio while recording this original video was pretty rough. But today we're going to be talking about every single upgrade slash mod I want to do on my 2021 Acura TLX A-Spec. Currently it's got a 2-liter inline-4 detuned version of the Type R engine pretty much, with a turbo pushing 272 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. I do want to push that to 300 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque as well. I don't want to do too much of the car engine-wise. It's more overall cosmetic and a little bit of performance. I'm not really looking to really touch the engine too much right now, but in the future, once I have another car that can also daily drive, I will consider that. But yeah, this list is just going to be not really in an order of me installing stuff, but just a list of stuff that I want to do. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's things you guys think I should do, I shouldn't do, a brand you recommend, a part you think is a better alternative. Not everything I'm going to be listing is exactly like, this one company, that one company. Some of them might just be general stuff that I want to do. But yeah, let's get into it. I just want to state that this car currently has 40,000 miles. I bought it at 36,000 last October. So, already 4,000 miles in. So I kind of have a feel for what I want to do. And I have just done one mod as of recording this video. I was hoping to get this video out before I even did this. But yeah, originally when I was recording this video, I was going to my friend's house to install a muffler delete, a new exhaust, new exhaust tips. But I ended up doing it myself a week later because I had a bunch of issues. I had another friend come over to come try and help me. I bought the kit, thought I could just bolt it on completely, but once I needed to be cut, my first friend couldn't cut it. Second friend, we were struggling to figure everything out, bought new tools, and I have a whole bunch of tools at home now to work on my car. But yeah, let's finally get into it. The first thing I want to do is an exhaust / muffler delete. So delete the muffler, new exhaust tips, because currently it looks like it has HDMI ports or display ports on the back of my car. It kind of doesn't look bad if I had more ground effect stuff on it, but I just like the quad tip look a lot better. It is a dual exhaust, and I just think the 2 tips on each side looks really nice. If anything, I can always go back to the stock tips, but I think I'm going to keep the muffler delete because stock, the car is too quiet for how muscular it looks, and I just think really quiet cars are kind of a bit dangerous, especially if you're driving out on the freeway, on the highway, or in dark spots where you're not audible for both pedestrians and for other drivers. I know it kind of like spooks me when a car comes flying past me and it's insanely quiet. I have no way of hearing it, especially with modern noise deadening. Now I'm not trying to, do a straight pipe, no cats, no no resonators or whatever. I think in the future, what I will do is buy a proper exhaust with a high flow, resonator and not a really strong muffler, but a sort of muffler. I don't want to be super loud. I just want the car to sound nice. I have a nice sound profile. I want it to be present, but I don't want to piss off everyone, if that makes sense. I just think quiet cars, they're not meant for the road, especially around a place where there's a lot of pedestrians and they can't see or hear a car. Honestly, it's kind of dangerous. I mean, hybrids and electric vehicles now require making annoying sounds at low speeds because they're too quiet. But yeah, that I've already done, so that video is going to be dropping here soon. Make sure to stay subscribed. It's going to be 2 videos. One where I try to figure it out with my friend, another one where I did it all by myself and I finally finished it. But it sounds amazing, looks amazing. Still have some tuning to do, but it's pretty awesome. Next thing I want to do, which this is partly in order, is lowering springs. I do want to do lowering springs next. I think the car is a little too high with the stock wheels, and even if I put aftermarket wheels, it just is a little too high. I'm looking at getting a 1-inch difference. I think this the coilovers, or not coilovers, the springs I saw were from Swift. I think they were like $400. I haven't done too much research. I've seen some different springs online. But yeah, I do want to do at least like an inch difference, just to have the car, have a nicer presence, especially when I get a ground effects package on it. I think it'll look really good. I think it'll look really aggressive and muscular, but not like overly done. And plus with that, I still have a bit of ride height. I'm not putting this car in bags and I'm not putting it on coilovers. I'm not slamming the car. I just, I want the car to look a little bit more muscular, but still be able to drive it. I mainly drive on the highway. I don't really take this off-road. My only concern is speed bumps, because I already kind of struggle a bit. So maybe with that inch difference, it might be a bit more difficult. However, that's a very rare issue where I have to deal with speed bumps, and especially big ones where I can't really drive over them. So it's something I'm going to constantly look into. But yeah, right now I'm thinking I'm going to do the 1 inch difference. just to give the car a nicer presence. Also, here in Florida, it can get very windy, especially around a tropical storm or a hurricane. I don't really drive through a hurricane, but a tropical storm, you're still driving around, work is still on. A lot of people might stay at home, traffic lights are out. I have had that experience a few months ago because I had some really bad tropical storms going around, and you can feel the wind going under the car. And when you're going high speeds on an open freeway where it's going to be windy regardless, there's no buildings or anything, especially not even any like foliage, you can feel the wind under the car. And I'm hoping the 1-inch difference does help a little bit and make the car feel a little bit more planted, especially for how big it is. But yeah, lowering springs are a very big priority for me. Next thing, wheel spacers, hub-centric ones. Obviously, I know wheel spacers can be dangerous if not done right. And at least from my understanding, as long as I get hub-centric ones and I think like a 25 where it, like everything bolts on correctly, it'll give that nice flush look with the side of the car. It won't be dangerous. It'll be very strong. It'll be very stiff. This I won't do myself. I think I will take it to a shop just because I don't want to risk it. I do sometimes drive a bit quick, a bit fast, especially on the freeway, and I don't want my wheel falling off. I'm not really too concerned about my wheel falling off, but I just don't want to take that risk personally. And I just want to be really careful with it. You know, my car right now is my prized possession, and besides my computer and stuff, because I love computers and tech. But yeah, I definitely want to get some spacers. The stock wheels don't look so great. In the future, I am planning to get new wheels, but when I bought this car 4,000 miles ago, like a few months ago, I guess also 4 months ago, I had an issue where it was on the lot. They already had new tires on it, but I guess a piece of metal flew off from some truck or something, and it was just lodged in the tire, and they ended up giving us 4 new tires on the car included without a charge. Obviously, I mean, you can't really sell a person a car without working tires, you know, with like slits in them. But yeah, it has brand new tires. It's gonna be a while. I don't drive ultra aggressively all the time. I drive pretty stable, maybe a little quick, and I also don't heavily rely on the brakes. You know, I'm pretty careful with how quick I'm going, so my car can bring itself to a stop. I don't like over relying on brakes. If you haven't watched my video on issues I've had with the car so far, make sure to check that out. You'll further understand why I'm scared of relying on the brakes too much. But yeah, wheel spacers for now until I ended up getting wheels, especially because by the time I get wheels, maybe I'll get BBSs, but that's going to be down the line of stuff we're going to go through. I also want to get a remote start key. This and the lowering springs will probably happen this year, maybe even the wheel spacers, because it gets hot here in Florida and I don't want to deal with the heat. I usually park in a garage or under trees and stuff like that, and I am planning to get some tint and stuff, which we'll mention later. But yeah, I really don't want to deal with the heat. I want to be able to remotely pull my windows down, and there is a subscription I can get on my phone also through the Acura Link app, where I can do control through the app too and check a bunch of stuff and do a bunch of stuff. But I want to get the remote start key. I find it really stupid that they don't include it as default, because this is more of a premium, you know, more luxury vehicle. All Acuras are. It's like the luxury brand of Honda, same with the way Lexus is the luxury brand of Toyota. But on pretty much any Honda, you can get remote start stop. It's like pretty much included on every key. And for some reason on my TLX, I have to, you know, go ahead and go to the dealership or buy it myself. I'm probably going to buy it myself to save myself that labor fee. But yeah, I'm going to get myself a remote start key set up. I don't know if I have to go to the dealership to pair the key with the car. I don't know how that goes. But yeah, I definitely want to get a remote start key set up so I can start up. And also the key just looks kind of cool. The next thing, puddle lights. My car, it apparently comes with puddle lights. This is also referring to the video about issues I've had with the car so far, but there's no puddle lights in the car like that are currently working. They're under both of the mirror caps, and they haven't worked since I bought the car. I do want to fix that. I am going to see what the dealership says, because I did do an exhaust modification, so I don't know how that's going to affect my warranty. So I might just end up doing it myself, because I don't want to show up there and I have the exhaust. I'd rather just put the stock exhaust on if I have to before showing up, so I don't have a problem with them like voiding my warranty or whatever. Like, I'd rather have it stay there and just not be able to use it for a little bit until I have like a major issue and I really need the warranty for them to cover it. But the puddle lights, they're like 20 something bucks for a kit of 2, and I definitely want to do that because it's a part of the car that I didn't know worked, and I think it would make the car look really nice. Again, it's a luxury vehicle. I want to feel that luxury. But yeah, next thing I'm going to mention briefly, because it's not on my list, I'm reading off a list right now, is actually tint. The car is tinted a bit, but I do want to maybe do almost like a 0% tint on the rear passenger, or I guess the rear two seats. And I do want to do a further tint on the front two seats, the driver's seats, and maybe the back, and also the front windshield, maybe an 80% with ceramic, 80% so that, you know, I don't get pulled over because like it's obviously dark. I feel like it does have a tint on it, but yeah, I want to do tint on all of them, you know, bring it a little bit darker, but not so much to the point where you can't really see outside. It's mainly for the heat and the comfort and not over relying on the AC. But yeah, that's especially to protect the fact that everything pretty much inside is leather. And I've already had a leather car, or my dad has, a 2008 Accord. And I can tell you, under that Florida sun, especially if you don't protect it, it gets really bad really quick. It gets expensive, and it's just a pain in the butt in the future to deal with. And I don't really have to want to deal with that. So yeah, definitely going to be getting some ceramic and some darker tint. Also saving my skin from getting burnt, because when the Florida sun hits, it hits hard. So that's in line with the remote start key. That'll probably happen this year too, because summer is coming pretty soon. But that is definitely a priority. This part is a maybe, since I do want to do the puddle lights. Is actually a sequential turn signal, so like Euro style, where it doesn't blink but it runs through the light. I think sequential mirrors or sequential turn signals look really awesome. I would only do this if I do it to my rear turn signals as well. I wouldn't only want the mirror cap to do it, because it'd look a little off if one was blinking and one was, you know, doing the nice European style. So that's down the line also. The main reason I want to do it is because I have to take my mirror caps off and disassemble the whole assembly to repair the puddle lights or replace them. And with that, I also want to mention I'm kind of considering getting carbon fiber mirror caps. There are some M style, like BMW M style ones, where the wing goes towards the car, and I think it kind of looks cool. It might look tacky though. I think I can only do this if I do a full ground effects package first. Otherwise, the car is going to look off. I think with the lowering springs, full ground effects package, and then the mirror cap, I think it might actually look awesome. But I think I'd have to do carbon fiber spoiler and carbon fiber ground effects if I want to do that. So maybe not. I think for now, just the puddle lights and maybe the sequential turn signal, because I don't want the car to look tacky or just inconsistent. I want it to look well thought. I also want to get a front lip splitter. I don't know why this car didn't come with it. It's the A-Spec. It should be the sporty version. The mid-cycle refresh did make the car look a lot nicer. I mean, they fixed the exhaust. They actually have round traditional exhaust tips, not the HDMI signal, even though I do think the HDMI port can look okay. It's if it has a ground effects package with it. But regardless, I was going to change it anyways for the muffler delete. But yeah, I do want to get a front splitter. I want to get a front lip spoiler, so it extends the sides at the bottom. I also with that underbody side spoiler, underbody lip spoiler, and a rear diffuser. So a full ground effects package, that's like 700. Or sorry, no, I'm thinking of something else. I don't know if it's that expensive. It might be a bit more expensive than 700. I think it might be like upwards of 1,000 or like 600 to 1,000, somewhere around there to do all of that. But I think it's so worth it. After the lowering springs, doing that maybe next year, I think it's going to look so good. I'm so excited. You guys have no clue. I think it's going to look fantastic. Illuminated door sills. So when you open the doors, there's some little door sills that, you know, say, you know, A-Spec. It depends on like what car you have. Like if you have the Type S, it says Type S. And I think there's an option factory. It might only be on the Type S to have it illuminated, but I want to make it illuminated. I mean, come on. I like my car to feel a little more luxurious, you know? No, I just think it looks cool. I think it'd be a nice little thing to add on. And it's not too difficult to wire into the car, so I am gonna have to get comfortable with electrical stuff if I want to do remote start and this. But it shouldn't be too difficult. Carbon fiber interior trim. So my current interior trim is the aluminum one. It is real aluminum, and it feels really nice. It's not plastic. It looks cool. But I think the fact that the car, you know, the A-Spec is like red, and I have red interior, and the LEDs too, I think carbon fiber might be the way to go. At first I thought it was tacky, so like initially I was like, oh, I like that. I'm like, that might look a little weird, but I think carbon fiber is pretty sick. It's only $700 and it's pretty easy to install. You kind of just have to pull things off and unscrew a few screws. It could take like an hour or 30 minutes to an hour maybe, especially if I have a friend, probably 30 minutes. But I think it's definitely worth it. This is way more down the line because carbon fiber, it's a bit expensive, $700-$800, but I think it looks sick. Carbon fiber deck lid spoiler. Yeah, that's something also maybe down the line. It's just a bit expensive. I was also considering getting a rooftop spoiler in carbon fiber also, or just a spoiler in general, because I've seen some cars do it. And I was also debating on getting vortex generators, but the vortex generators can like kind of look tacky. I don't think it would work with my car because I'm not going to have anything else that'll like really add on to that. It'll just be kind of like a one-off thing. I mean, the car overall is going to be like lower, it'll be bigger, it'll have a nice stance, so maybe the vortex generators might work, or the spoiler. But the vortex generators are definitely functional. I don't know about the spoiler if I already have the spoiler on the rear. So that's something up for debate. You guys let me know. I think vortex generator could be cool. I think it's going to have to be body color, maybe not black, probably have to be white with the rest of the car, because if I have it black, it's probably just going to like stand out too much, it might look weird. I'm not looking for the ones where you have to individually place them. I think like a whole one-piece unit would probably be better, but that's definitely not on my list of priorities. It's like a maybe I might do. Plus, if I already have ceramic, if I ceramic coat everything, and you know, I put this vortex generator, I don't have to worry about like rain on the back of my windshield. So, it would be functional. Heated steering wheel. This is also actually on the list of priorities. But I want to do a heated steering wheel. You take out the whole unit, you put a new one, and you just have to wire into your fuse box. But I know I live in Florida. I do travel around a bit, and when it gets colder in the colder months, because us Floridians are actually used to the heat all year, like 80 plus all year long. We're not used to the cold. It can actually hurt, and my hands working in a cooler all day at work currently. I don't like feeling the cold. I like the warmth because my joints genuinely hurt. So it's not like a weird or like dumb. It does sound weird and dumb, especially being in Florida, but during those cold days, it feels really nice having a bit of warmth, especially if you're tired after a really long day of work and being outside and you wake up the next morning, you're a bit tired. It's like, oh, the warmth makes your body feel so nice. And plus I do want to replace the steering wheel because it is a little worn into, and within the first month of me owning it, I have this box cutter on the side of my side that I need for work that's on me half the time because I'm too lazy to take it off, and it did mess up the under of the steering wheel, which is like a flat bottom. It's so nice, and I ruined it, and it was already a little worn into. This is also like $400 or $500, I think, but it's also not too difficult to install. K&N cold air intake. This is more of a prerequisite, or like, just putting it in there before I do anything to the engine. It can sound a little nicer. It looks nice in the engine bay. Is it going to give me immediate performance upgrades? Very minorly, like maybe a floating point, maybe a decimal. But it looks nice. It sounds a little nice. And more cold air to the engine is never a problem. But it's just going to be a prerequisite to me doing things in the future. K&N air filter. Just replace the air filter and be able to reuse it a bit. Brembo brakes and Brembo brake pads. So I want to do a big brake upgrade from the Type S down to this car because I don't know if I feel like I mentioned it earlier, but I don't know if I did. But if you watch my video on issues with the TLX, you'll understand I had brake issues. I'm someone who firmly believes speeding does not kill. I'm sorry to yawn. Speeding does not kill. It's the braking that does. It's a sudden stop. And, the better that you can stop and have more control over your car and can prevent a further accident, it's always nice. I don't know if I'm ever going to track this car. Maybe like once or twice. But the Brembo brake pads and the Brembo brake upgrade is definitely going to make the car feel a lot nicer, having that better brake power. It's 6 pistons in the front, so you can imagine like it does make a difference. Now for the wheels, again, this is going to be really far down the line. Like, I don't know, maybe a year or two. How many miles do tires last for? They last for a good while, but in the Florida heat, I mean, within 3 years, you kind of want to change your tires regardless. But these tires I have currently are brand new. I'm trying to keep my car in the shade as much as possible. And I'm honestly considering getting like a car cover. But yeah, I do think I wanna get wheels, obviously like 2-3 years down the line, whenever these tires get worn down. So maybe a little bit quicker. But currently I'm considering the NK Raisin, which are just they're a good brand of wheels. NK makes fantastic wheels. My ideal wheels that I want to get are BBS XR Bronze, but those are like $3,500 for a set of 4, when the NKs are like $1,200. So if I have a lot of money, by then, because cars are a terrible way to invest your money. Like, everyone knows that you don't buy cars unless just like collector items to make money off them. This car is gonna be worth way less if I list it with all these mods. Well, I think it'll actually be the same because most of these are OEM. But yeah, ideally I want to get the BBS XR Bronze, but probably the NK Radian, plus performance summer tires, because I am in Florida. It does get rainy, so obviously I don't want to hydroplane on the highway. But I am planning to get other cars as well, and also possibly an old Lexus SUV. So I'm gonna have choices. But by the time I get all this stuff in, like especially the wheels, I will have other vehicles. I am gonna get a Miata soon. That's definitely a priority. And I am planning to get another car besides that, like an SUV or just another daily driver. Probably another daily driver if I'm gonna do like performance upgrades on this car. This is all up for debate. It's gonna be a long time. Active dampers from the technology package. So I have the A-Spec. There's one on top of it called the technology package, and I've heard of A-Spec with technology package, and there's the Type S. Anyways, there are active dampers somewhere in that lineup. People debate if you really need to buy this, because the car is tuned sporty. If you just want to be sporty all the time, but you want the car to drive a little differently in the driving selector, like that engine and maybe the steering wheel, and you don't care for anything else, then don't get the active dampers when you buy the car. But if you want to be in comfort and it feels like you're a bit floaty, like it's super smooth, you want the active dampers. If you want to be able to go to normal, it's like a little in between, active dampers. If you want to go to sport and it's really stiff in comparison to everything else, active dampers. I don't have that. I just have just the selector, and it changes the steering wheel and the engine's behavior. But I do want to get the active dampers. I know it's possible between a Civic Type R and an Integra Type S. So the Integra Type S has a lot of electronic stuff. I think the brakes, the active dampers. It's a lot more of an electronic sized vehicle, while the Type R is a lot more mechanical vehicle, and the Type R is a lot more tuned for the track. The Integra is not. However, you can track both cars. But yeah, I want to see if I can do the same thing with a A-Spec with technology, or technology pack with the active dampers down to the A-Spec. I'm sure it's possible, but it's definitely going to cost a bit of money. It's definitely going to, I feel like it's probably going to cost like $2,000 or something, and it's going to take a lot of time to wire it and, set it up, computer side or whatever. I know it's definitely possible though, and I definitely want to do it. It's definitely on that list of stuff that I want to do. I don't know if this is possible, and if it is, I probably just want to get a new car at this point. But the super handling all-wheel drive, I'm so mad I didn't know this existed. So story goes, I crashed my car. It's totaled. Let's just say that's the gist of it. So that car's totaled, whatever. And I need a new car. I was gonna get the Accord 2-liter turbo, but they were literally the same price or sometimes more expensive at dealerships than the TLX. And why would I get the Accord if I could just get a TLX, especially if I want to do real estate and I'm going to take people in my car? And it's a lot more presentable having an Acura rather than an Accord. And that's going to sound stupid to some of you, but unfortunately, real estate can be a very glamour-based business. So if you don't market yourself as like that guy who's successful in real estate and knows what he's doing, even if it's just a car, it can make a difference. Unfortunately, that's just the industry. Plus, it's like, I step up from a Honda to an Acura. I'm still in the Honda family. I love Hondas, but now I can focus on more of the Acura lineup rather than the Honda lineup. And I just, broaden my spectrum of knowledge when it comes to cars. And plus, it's just it's a nice car. I genuinely kind of like it now more than the Accord. But yeah, I had no clue if the active dampers or the SH all-wheel drive. I mean, I don't think the Accord ever had an all-wheel drive version, so unfortunately this just was out of my knowledge base. Otherwise, I would have probably gone SH all-wheel drive. I would have spent the extra few $1,000s for both active dampers and SH all-wheel drive. Like, it's just a no-brainer. Is that really possible to bring down to the TLX without the full SH all-wheel drive? I don't know. Is it really worth it? That price? No. I kind of want to get a Type S down the line, probably next gen, depending on what the powertrain is. So that's definitely up for debate. It's very expensive. I've heard it feels amazing. I haven't been able to test drive one, but I'll definitely research into that. I know everything is possible. It's just whether it makes sense and justify all the time and money. I don't know, but I haven't heard of anyone bringing SH all-wheel drive down to the front wheel drive version. But I'll definitely look into it. Rear reflector LEDs. So the rear reflectors on the back of the car, people have made LED versions of them, so you can sync them up with your turn signals, you can sync it up with your brakes. Instead of just being like a reflector, it's actually a light, which actually sounds cool to me. I don't know, because I have to look more into how it looks with all that stuff, because the way I saw it, it was just flashing, and it didn't really, it looked kind of just odd. I might get it if I'm just having it so it just syncs with the brakes, just so I'm more visible, I guess, at night, and just so, you know, the brakes are more bright so you don't hit the back of my car, because I have had that happen to some of my family members recently, where like, yeah, super low speeds and then Ultima just slams the back of your car. Like, let me make it brighter so it's more obvious for you that I'm slowing down, or that, you know, it's night and there's a car there. The next two are not like performance or anything to do really with the car, but they're just kind of stupid stuff that I saw on Instagram and online. But a Dasai Mochi 2, it's this little guy you plug into your car and he just makes different faces while you drive. It's so stupid, but I think it's so cute and cool, and I just kind of want to do it. And a Raisa Melody Box. It's this little speaker computer that you put in your car, and it'll put like Japanese sounds when you start up your car. I mean, you can have it say like powered by Subaru, like if you have a Subaru and you turn on your car, like it's cool. Or you can have like, it turns on like, it's like welcome to your shipbox in Japanese, and it's like it's tacky. It's funny to me though, and it would definitely brighten up my day just having stupid stuff like that in my car. But it's honestly everything I can think of right now. I mean, if I think of more stuff later down the line, I'll edit it into the description, or if a lot of things change down the line, or I have like a specific one from OEM, specific one from this company I want to get of all this stuff, I'll make an updated video. But that's gonna be everything. It's a lot of stuff. It's definitely a few $1,000s right there. I originally set my limit at 5,000, but I think my new limit's gonna be $10,000. Just because, you know, there's just a lot of stuff I want to do to my car. I want to keep this one for a long time. I think I want to permanently keep this car. If I can get the SH all-wheel drive on the car, I don't think I'm ever gonna get rid of it. But at some point, you know, I will have a new daily driver. But this isn't gonna leave my collection. I'm definitely gonna keep driving it. I love this car so much. It makes me so happy, especially for starting to work on it for the first time now. It's just gonna be a long time to do all this stuff unless I make a crap ton of money out of nowhere. But yeah, that's everything I can think of so far. Honestly, I think pretty soon lowering springs, remote start key, stop start key, puddle light, wheel spacers, tint with ceramic. I don't know if it's called ceramic. I think it is called ceramic. That it helps reflect the heat. The Dasai Mochi 2 and the Racer Melody Box. Those two things are really stupid, but I just really want to get it. But that's everything I'm probably going to be getting this year. I already do have an exhaust. It's a muffler delete, but it is from EOS Exhaust. It is a pay what you get what you pay for. It's only like $230. But down the line, that limit of 10,000 is going to be hit pretty quick. But I am probably going to switch to like a whole new setup from like Function Work or MagnaFlow or something. Just a much more premium exhaust system. I really don't want to straight pipe it. I don't want to hear droning. It's an inline 4. But if it was a Type S, I probably would straight pipe it. I'm not gonna lie. At that point, I'm just doing it to be annoying. But yeah, that's everything I have so far. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for being patient with me. A lot of cool content dropping. We have some collaborations in the works. We're gonna be going to a lot of car beats. A lot of stuff is gonna be happening to this car. I'll be trying to film as much of it as possible. A lot of POV drives and a bunch of new different cars. Not only my TLX, but you'll be seeing a lot of cool content. A lot of my friends who are gonna be hopping on for some of these videos, hosting some videos, and yeah. We do have 2 videos of me trying to do the exhaust the first day and the second day, and yeah, like I said, a collab with Demi Drift. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to turn on notifications so you guys never miss a video. Check out our Instagram and our TikTok. I forgot that we actually have that. Discord, website, everything in the description below as always, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.